Pierre here from Simple Homebrew with Pierre. I'm going to do a Dutch lager today. Mangrove Jack's Dutch lager. This was at the brew shop and I saw it was cheap. I thought, bugger it, I'm going to buy it because it's going to go out of date. Well, it's nearly out of date now, so I'll have to do it before it goes bad. So here we go. I'm going to ferment it in a fermentosaurus today. This one here, I've had used this a few times now in my other videos. It's a really good little vessel to do it in. You have your conical base with a little trube jug that sits on the bottom. I will put it on this time. Last time I forgot to, and it didn't catch my trube. No, not entirely a problem, but I got a lot less beer out of it when I did it. I've already cleaned this with OxyClean, or an OxyClean, which is, I don't know, I've got one here somewhere. No, it's not here. But anyway, it's clean. All I have to do now is put sanitizer in it. Once I've done that, it's ready to go. So what I do is I fill my fermentosaurus up with 9 litres of water, which gives me enough that I could use star sand in it, which I can use about half an ounce in 9 litres of water. That gives me the right measurements to sanitize my jugs and things. They say leave it for about 30 seconds. Put it in this old jug here like that. Shake it around so all the sides get touched. Yeah, it's pretty good. I've been doing it for a little while. Wrap the valve just to make sure it goes through the valve as well. And we're set to go. So, cracked it out of the valve. Oops. Sanitize that bit as well, so anything that goes through it now will be all clean. Now this kit doesn't require much work. So basically all I have to do is heat up a pot on the stove just to dissolve the brew enhancer that they provide, which is a Dutch brew. So I've got this, which is the a German lager, which is in powder form. I'll heat that up in the pot. I was talking to some guys online. They were saying that the tap water is fine to use for brewing if you don't mind little flavours getting in there. Last few brews, except for one of them I did, was really nice. Comes out with a little bit of a tint of, it's not a good flavour, it's not awesome. And it kind of is like a chlorine flavour. So they said a couple of things you can do. You can bring out your water, put it on the bench, put your 23 or 20 odd litres. If you're going to pour it straight into your jug rather than boil it, that chlorine will evaporate overnight. So 24 hours, the chlorine will just evaporate out of the water. The risk of that is bacteria getting in the water while it's sitting there, so it's not a good option. Another option is to boil the water and then leave it to cool before you add your extract and everything in and pour it into your fermentosaurus. The fermentosaurus can't take temperatures above 35 degrees Celsius, so you've got to be really careful with that. Or you can buy purified water from the supermarket, 2 10-litre bottles. That's how I'm going to go about it. It's not meant to be chlorinated. You read the little ticket on there, it doesn't have any chlorine in it. So I'm going to try that, see how it tastes. So I only need a small pot for this, something about 4 litres or so. I'm going to use that, just to do this little bit. I want to make 20 litres, I've got 20 litres of water. I'll probably end up with 21 litres of course, because it's going to boil out. So I might just grab a pot, boil up about 1 litre of water, chuck in my brewing extract, or brewing powder, what do they call it? Brewing, which is just malt, powdered malts basically, and boil it up until it's nice and hot. Pour the water in my fermentosaurus, and pour that product into my fermentosaurus. Hopefully the temperature will be at the right temperature, and we'll be right. Here we go. Welcome back to my kitchen / brewery. Yeah, I'll get the pots out. So this little beauty should be enough. Just a pot. So I'm about to top her up. I'm going to put 3 litres of water, so it gets to the measurement they suggest, which is 23 litres in the fermentosaurus. So I'll get on it. Got to measure it first. Alright, this is a 1 litre jug. Easy to measure water. Just fill her up. Now this is a quick brew. I'm doing this because I need to use this up, otherwise it's not going to be any good. I don't know if it's going to be any good anyway, but I'm going to do it to make sure that I don't waste it. In 2 weeks, 3 weeks time when it's ready, or 4 weeks time, I'll taste it. If it tastes horrible, I'll throw it away. It's not really a waste of time. It only takes me half an hour to do this. And yeah, I'll have a good beer if it turns out well. Okay, that's my 3 litres. I'm going to pop this on the old stove and we'll see how we go. Helps it boil. Once it's boiled, I'll put my German brew number 60, and that's what it's called, in there, and dissolve it all and heat it up and get it pretty warm and boil it to make sure it's really nicely boiled. I'll boil it for 15 minutes just to make sure, because this is getting close to out of date and I'd rather try and get rid of any bacteria that may be in there. And we'll go from there. So I found my troop jug. It's got put a bit of star sand in that as well, just to give it a good rinse out to make sure it's sanitized. Once I do that, I'll empty this star sand out of my fermentosaurus, and then I'll start pouring my water in. And once this is boiled, I'll give that a go, and it should all come good. Just to heat the can up, make sure it's all more liquefied. So once I finished heating this up, I'll then open the can and put it in my hot water, dissolve it a little bit, as well as with the German brew number 60 malt extract powder. So it'll be quite nice smelling, I hope. And then I'll pour it into my fermentosaurus. You know, it just occurred to me, I've made a mistake. In this can, there's about 1.7 litres of fluid. And I put in 3 litres here, that's 10 litres of water going in. That makes 24.7 litres of fluid going in. I only want 23. So I've got to get rid of 1.7 litres of water. Bye-bye water. What's that at? Ounces? Oh, that's spot on. I don't believe it. Anyway, back on the heat. It'll be quicker to boil. What do you do? So while that's starting to boil, this has been sitting around for about 3 hours, 30 minutes or so now. I'm going to just empty out my star sand because I don't need it for anything else. Maybe I do. Hang on, I'll come back to that. I make a star sand spray every time I do the star sand mixture. I mean, what's in here is probably okay, but I like to put the fresh stuff in. And just doing that gives me a spray that I can spray around the caps and things before I put everything in, so I don't get bacteria at all. I hopefully don't get bacteria. I haven't yet. So, alright, I'll empty this out. Alright, so there we go. And while I'm emptying it, I'll pour some in the bottle as well. Just like that. So my bottle's got star sand in it now, so I can sort that out. And I'll just empty the rest into the sink. I'm not going to use it again. Some people do, but I don't. What's the point? It's not that. Star sand can be expensive, especially in Australia. But, you know. But it's a good product, as you know. The good thing about putting star sand too in these is that when you seal them up here, you can tell if they're leaking. Basically, if they're leaking with star sand in it, they're going to leak with your water in it. So you're better off giving it a good old clean just before you do it. That way you know you've got all the leaks plugged. Right, that's ready to go. I might even put my water in now. Okay, so my water's boiled. Take the lid off. I've got no handle on it, it's an old pot. And I'll turn the flame off, just so this stuff doesn't stuck. Start pouring her in. This will dissolve into nothing just about. I'll get my spoon. Get it in there and stir her up. Look at that. Can't tell you it smells good because at the moment, it smells pretty good. Yeah, I can't be whinging about that. So while that's heating back up, I'm going to put the water in the fermentosaurus. Get onto this now. Basically move that out of the way and that cable out of the way. Bring our fermentosaurus lid off. Grab our bottle. Tip her up. This is 10 litres of, what do you call it? I don't know what to call it. What do you call it? Is this a good idea? Maybe I should open the cap. This will aerate the wort as well, so doing it like this too. You know, I was thinking of opening the cap and just pouring in. I might actually do that. This will take forever otherwise. So I'll take the cap off. I'll just drop that down there. And just pour it in. You wouldn't think it would, you'd think it'd be quicker than that. Quick. Been taught that you shouldn't do it like that. But will it work? Ah, look at that. That's the way. Okay, this has been sitting in the water for about 15 minutes now. It might be enough. I'm going to use my electric can opener. This should do the trick to open her up. Oh, look how dark that is. Looks nice too. Very nice. Okay, I'm a little worried. I think my pot has enough room for this extract. Take a bit of paper off that. So here we go. I'm gonna pour it in. Flame's off. If I leave the flame on, it'll get stuck to the bottom and it will scorch on the bottom and it'll change the flavour for sure. Alright, this looks really good actually. Smells good. I reckon it will taste pretty good too. We'll see, huh? With this excess, I'm going to, love that smell. I'm going to rinse that in hot water. With that excess, I'm going to put a little bit of this in the can. It's going to get hot, so I'll put a towel around it. And make sure that I try and get all of that extract out. My little jug here. Grab this fluid, pour it in. A little bit more. It's a bit messy. I shouldn't do it like this, but I am. I'll boil this again, make it hot again. I'll stir it in the can itself. It's still got it, look, it's still loopy. Like I said, this is a very quick brew. I'm hoping to get a better brew out of it this time than I've ever had before. It's called a Mangrove Jack's Dutch Lager. So, being a Dutchie myself, I reckon it might be pretty good. Let's see how we go, eh? Right, stir this one in here. Like so, that's hot. And extract that out. This is hot. Yeah, that's beautiful. Yep, got a lot of it out. Much cleaner now, look at that. Hey. So put the flame back on, heat that back right up until it's boiling. As you know, I put tap water in here, so I need to get rid of the chlorine in it that I don't want, to see if that'll enhance the flavour of my brew. Now I'm stirring it like this because I need to make sure it doesn't stick on the bottom. As I was saying before, I was a bit worried the pot was going to be too small for what I'm doing, but it's pretty good. That's all I need. Like I said, okay guys, so my wort is ready. This is a real concentrated wort. I'm going to go put it in now in 20 litres of water. I've just put in my Fermentosaurus, and we'll see what happens from there. Okay, spray a bit of sanitizer on this so to make sure that I don't get anything in it. Unscrew the lid. Put the lid on somewhere safe. Pop that off. Now it's time to pour my wort in. This is a dangerous thing again. I've always seem to say that, but what I'll do is I'll put a tea towel around it just so I don't make a mess. Now it's a clean tea towel, don't worry about that, just so it catches any drips or wort that I might drop. Here we go. Sorry, you didn't see much of that. And the camera's in a bad angle, but anyway. We're all good. So I'll give the old wort a good stir. Put my spoon inside. Aerate the wort. Someone said that the other day, I haven't really aerated it properly. So here we go. Aeration is happening. I have noticed though that it's all on top, it hasn't really gone down to the true jug at the bottom. Okay, my wort is down to about 24 degrees Celsius at the moment, about 24. 24 to 22. It's good to pitch yeast, but I've got to check on the yeast now to find out when I actually have to pitch it, what temperature. Alright, just looking at the instructions that are provided by what do you call it? Mangrove Jacks. It says down the bottom here, which you can't really read well. It's a bit funny actually, to tell you the truth. The yeast can be pitched from between 18 and 30 degrees Celsius. So I'm right to pitch it. Well guys, I've just discovered I have a Mangrove Jacks Craft Series yeast. It's the M54. Sorry, M54. Plus the one that came on the can, which was this one, Premium Brewing Yeast, SG. I don't know what that means, so I'm going to have to look it up and find out. Okay, I've worked it out. Mangrove Jacks supply a yeast that they believe is better for what we're doing here, compared to just doing the extract on its own. So this is the yeast we use. The other yeast we just put in the fridge and use for another job somewhere along the line. See if I can use it for something that I might like. I don't know what the SG is, so I'm going to look it up and find out what that is. This is what we can use it for. But now it's time to pitch the yeast. I'm just going to quickly spray this with sanitizer, just in case. You know, it's always good to be secure and safe. Gee, what's wafting out of there is quite a beautiful smell, to tell you the truth. So anyway, I'll tear it open, just like that. So you get the nice little yeast sachet there. You probably can't see it too well. I'll give you an idea on what it might look like here. So you can see what's going on there. Now all I do now is pop it in the old Fermentosaurus and we're right. And so just sprinkle it in. Unfortunately, you can only put it in the middle. The lid doesn't really allow for anything better. So that's in. Once that's in now, I'll put the lid on. I'll give you a quick closer look in a sec. You can have a look at what it looks like from close up. So here's your little air trap, this little beauty. Basically just a little cap, that's a little floater. Stops the air from getting in, it only allows air to get out, or carbon dioxide, whatever comes out of it. And yeah, so it will work well. So all we do is just pop the lid in, fill it up with a bit of star sand, which is what I do. Might as well, we got it here and it's sanitized. It does bubble up out of the cap a little bit, but after a while it stops happening. So we've got star sand in there, it's a bit foamy, but it will come good. Pop the lid on, spray it in just in case. And star sand won't hurt your brew. Pop that on there, we now have it sealed. The good thing about Fermentosaurus is it's pretty much see-through. The bad thing about that is you need to actually keep it away from sunlight, because bad sunlight can destroy your wort. But looking at that, the yeast is in the middle. It'll sort of sink through the centre and go down to the bottom into this little tube jug, ferment away, and eventually bubble back up and sit back at the top. And then all the excess yeast that's left behind will drop back into the tube jug. You just take the tube jug off, chuck it in the fridge if you want to use it again, whatever. So guys, that concludes today's quick brew. Very simple brew. Like I said, it's maybe half an hour's worth of work. Because I'm filming it, it takes a bit longer. I have to move things around and set up for it. But really, to make something like this, half an hour maximum. Really good way of doing it. I'm hoping this one will taste better than the last one, basically because I used more purified water. See how it goes, and I'll let you know, of course. I'll do a little bit of a review on my own brew. I won't review other people's brews because I'm not a reviewer, I can tell you that now. Just to let you know, that was an almost out of date extract kit. So if it come out good, I'll be wrapped. See you later, see you next time. Don't forget, subscribe and like, and hit that little bell on the side, because that little bell will allow you to know when I've popped up another video. My videos can vary in time because I do other things. I have another channel called Pierre's Adventures, which I do when I go off on a riding adventure or a holiday somewhere. I'll pop them up. It's all just for fun. You should enjoy them, and they are variants in how many I put up and how quickly I do it, because I am doing different things all the time. So see how you go.